Hey guys, this is how Universe and BigDaddy fight with Faceless Void. In this clip, Raiden is trying for a long time to gank or repel the alchemist in the offlane. Indeed, offlane alchemist needs to be punished since he's a terrible laner. At the same time though, he can be pretty hard to deal with when you're fighting under acid spray, so when alch goes back to the lane, pay attention to notails decision making. He's just minding his own business, hitting and denying creeps, while Lion is trying to get an opening. Notail could have initiated earlier if he wanted to, but only when alch throws the acid spray he goes at him. That's definitely an opportunity that can be abused to take him down easily, and they do. A cool little thing he does here is cutting the trees to reach alch faster. And well, even though it might seem like it didn't make any difference, maybe Lion would have to go back to the lane after fighting for so long under acid spray, or maybe Notail would need to buy more regen after the fight, so you always need to abuse as best as possible what your opponents throw at you. In this footage, Notail shows off his bashing skills, actually proccing 3 bashes in a row in the Chronosphere, and this is the analysis. I'm just kidding guys. Anyways, when you have your support around, you can kill almost any hero with Chronosphere, so when alch gets closer, he time walks and pay attention to how he tries to right click once before chronoing. If that was a bash, you can even try to give a little bit more hits before popping the chrono, so even if he gets a little bit of distance from you, you can still reach him very fast with the Chronosphere. They would have gotten the kill anyways, but 3 bashes in a row really help, even if it doesn't do the extra damage on Chronosphere anymore. Another pretty standard footage, he goes on Oracle and check out he doesn't pop time dilation right away. With the changes on the skill, you always want to pop it after the enemies use their cooldowns, so after that there's no running away from Mr. Oracle. Oracle was an easy kill regardless, but many people would be keen to using Chronosphere right at the start, and one thing that maybe Notail considered was that he was very close to level 11, so saving Chrono now to have level 2 Chrono later can be pretty helpful. A lot of people have the habit of casting Chronosphere right in front of them. The thing with Chronosphere is that even though it has a big radius, its cast point is very short, and sometimes people take too long to chrono because they walk towards the target to cast it. In this clip, check how he casts the chrono from very far away, but knowing full well he would get the Oracle on the radius of it. This is a rather risky move considering he's alone, but since he scattered alch to the other side of the map, he can be relatively sure that he can get the kill and run away. Or can he? This is a very interesting clip. Notail spots Oracle as he's going up the stairs, and maybe Oracle was distracted, but that allows him to go on Oracle even without chrono. Check how he waits the false promise to cast time dilation. Not only it's another skill on cooldown to help him chase, but false promise purges time dilation, so there's really no point in casting it before. He dealt enough damage to be safe disengaging, and there's no way he can kill both alch and Huskar with chrono, so he just disengages. But just a little bit after, he turns his bash hack again, and when he spots Invoker, he gets an easy kill. They are defending their base, and check how he focuses on taking the ward before diving in a fight. The Dire heroes are not that committed to taking the tower. He time walks back, and now that the fight is going on for a long time, he casts time dilation. He also gets a decent Chronosphere that doesn't lock in any of his allies while at the same time zoning the remaining Dire heroes. Huskar forces buybacks. And when Notail goes in with Shadowblade, they have a ward to deal with him. A lot of people might be wondering why is he going Shadowblade. The item is pretty decent on Void, it gives him a little bit of damage and attack speed. It can also be upgraded to Silver Edge, which is great against Huskar, and after the changes on Silver Edge, it's actually a pretty decent item on agility heroes. But another undervalued point of the item is initiating without people being able to react, since they can't see you casting Chronosphere, which is the biggest problem when you initiate with Blink Dagger. Anyways, when they engage, check how they ignore Huskar. Huskar is a somewhat easy to kite hero, and they explode Oracle. Unfortunately though, Shadow Shaman respawned and takes him down. He ends up misplaying. It's kinda hard to tell actually. Against Huskar you sometimes think that your team can handle him, and when you look again he has a rampage, so I understand him wanting to secure the fight with the buyback, especially since he had a TP and the fight was very close to his base. The clip is crazy and packed with critical decisions coming from BigDaddy. Huskar is pushing their top tier 1 tower and he sees tons of dire heroes close to the Roshan area. So engaging now is a great idea, especially after he took the tier 2. But Huskar is very strong and they don't manage to take him fast enough. In the end, he's forced to chrono Huskar only to crack the 8. So it's clear that everything went off the trails, and without chrono and solo in HP there's no way he can help too much there. So check how he plays this. His TP is on cooldown, so he would either had to run downwards and risk dying because they had reveal, or just hide in the secret shop until his TP is ready again. But check what he does then. Dire doesn't have a tier 2 top and he has vision of everyone alive, so he clears 2 wave of creeps, which can definitely help them defending or even force someone to TP back, and then he can TP back and get a better fight. He also note that he bought a Morbid Mask to heal while doing that. And since NOTAIL was making too many right decisions, Storm was forced to do something retarded. Well, what I think happened here is that he respawned too fast and maybe was right clicking there, I don't know. But anyways, Dire made the right move. Even by creep skipping, Dire can just go to the mid lane since they don't have a tier 3. A fight breaks out in Radiant's jungle, and check how he plays this. He sees his team engaging and instead of going around to engage, he goes through the small camp. Not only it's arguably faster, but no one from Dire can react since they didn't have vision until it was too late. As I talked about in the Storm video, Oracle is definitely one hero you should focus in teamfights, since his cooldowns are too low and even after casting False Promise he can be very annoying to deal with. Another point to be made is that he only uses time dilation after False Promise, but only when he's about to chase Oracle, and they managed to kill both of them. Dire is pushing their bottom lane, and a lot of players would be keen on starting Invoker or Huskar since they are very strong and annoying. The thing though is that with an Oracle in the other team, it's very unlikely that 1. Void can chrono both Oracle and Huskar, and 2. Even if he can, Huskar is ridiculously tanky, he has evasion, so he probably won't be able to burst him. Even then, if he went for other targets, alch and Invoker have disables. Fortunately, he gets a 3-man chrono and has BKB, so he's able to explode 2 key heroes, Shadow Shaman and Oracle. Even though Oracle was able to cast False Promise before dying, he avoided wards from being cast, as well as tons of heals and disables. I don't like him trying to go for the ulted alchemist, especially when Huskar can deal so much damage. I don't know if it was intended, but check how he had Silver Edge available all the time. After going for alch, Huskar ults and then he turns on Huskar. Since Huskar can't dispel the Silver Edge debuff anymore, I'm not really sure why he waited to go on Huskar, but they get the kill regardless. They suspect Dire is Roshan, and before going in with Silver Edge, he pings the location for wards and sentries to be placed. Now with Vision, he can go invisible knowing that there are no wards and sentries around. But well, he wasn't wrong, but there was a sentry ward closer to the Dire Ancients. Usually you don't want to commit time dilation before Oracle uses False Promise, but since they are alone and he doesn't want to commit Chrono to kill Oracle, if Oracle commits his ult, he can just disengage and go for another target, knowing that he won't be saved. Since Shadow Shaman is matter but doesn't matter, the Ice Toad punishes him with funny and rare interactions of spells, and he gets sniped by Lich's ult. People oftentimes try to get these very bursty builds on Void to kill everyone during Chrono, and while that can work sometimes, when the fights are all scattered up like this, if Invoker casted Defeating Blast for instance, Void would be useless during the entire Chrono, meaning that his net worth would also be useless. There are times where a BKB is just too good to pass, especially if the fights are happening like in this game. And well, Alchemist reminded me of this clip from The Simpsons.
I can't. I simply can't.
Very effective.
Void is a very weird hero. A lot of people still like to play him as that ultra strong core before the changes, and while you can get solo kills with Void, but in this game Universe is against two very hard heroes to get solo kills, Storm and Ursa. So instead of committing the Chronosphere against a very hard kill alone, or instead just farm because you feel like those kills are impossible, he communicates with his team and he is able to get a kill on Ursa. Check how he just casually walks towards Ursa instead of initiating with Time Walk. Ursa's enrage is instant, so there's a big chance they wouldn't get the kill or take it too long to do so, allowing the enemy team to react. When they go for Storm, we see kinda the same thing here. Storm is definitely a hard kill, landing the Chronosphere alone is a hard task, so check how he goes for this kill with more allies and how he tries to use the tree as a means to block the smoke breaking when he initiates. He doesn't manage to use Chrono right away, but Storm either didn't have vision or just reacted too slow. What most people don't get about Void is that you can manage to fight and farm. Universe farmed the entire time after the Ursa kill, but as soon as Chrono gets ready, he smokes with his team. Maybe he was the one calling for a smoke, and by farming all the time but using Chrono as often as possible, he's on the right track of winning this game. And of course, you can get kills without Chrono, especially after an item like Vlad's, that make your whole team stronger. In this clip, check how even after the silence ends, he is not spamming Time Walk to chase Necro. Time Walk is a great skill, but if you commit to it in a place where you have no vision and idea of where the enemies are, they can and will abuse the timing window to kill you, especially with Chrono on cooldown. After he spots Storm going in, he is more than comfortable jumping in. I really like Universe's decision making here. He jumps, finds Necro, hesitates a little bit, but that's fine. Check how he doesn't commit to get the kill himself. When they initiated, there was no hero in lane, meaning that there's a big chance the dire heroes will get there soon. Suiciding for that kill is definitely not worth it. Since he disengaged early, he has HP to survive the Sand King initiation, and check how he didn't even touch the time dilation during this fight. After the changes, you only slow people for the amount of skills they used until you cast it. Well, this wraps up for today. If you enjoyed this video, please guys give it a thumbs up, it helps a lot. If you want to see more of Universe and Big Daddy's replay breakdown, please check the link in the description. I can't overstate how this video wouldn't ever be possible without the huge help from the Pugna guys, so please show them some love. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe to it. I'm making videos like this almost every day, and I'm sure something here will spark your interest. So committing to it so early can bite you in the ass later. Anyways, since Oracle shows up, he decides to turn on him because he is a very annoying hero if left alone. As he chases Oracle, pay attention to how he commits the Remnant to get vision from Oracle, but not before using the Overload hit on him. He gets the extra kill, and when Pudge goes on him, he's forced to back. It's good to know that he thread switches to Strength and tries to right-click Pudge before dying.